Hey everybody, it's Justin Merrills, and I'm coming at you to talk about one of the youngest leagues in professional sports in North America, the NHL. Now, for those of you who don't know, the average age of the NHL has gone down significantly over the past 10 years. In 2007, the average age of the NHL was about 27.94 years. Now it's about 27.09, so the change being about 10 or 11 months younger for the average player, which I think is fairly significant. If you're wondering, the youngest team is the Columbus Blue Jackets, who are coming in at about 25 and a half years old, and the oldest being the Chicago Blackhawks, who are just over 28 years old. Since the average career is about 5.5 years in the NHL, it seems to be careers are getting a bit shorter in terms of the NHL, and there's been kind of a few demands, obviously, being met with the speed-based game and the fact that the goons are kind of end, and now the players have to be a bit more skilled. So, stronger, faster, can do kind of more than one thing. That's kind of expected of them. Now, in terms of diversity and whatnot, when we think of hockey, we think of potentially the 6 big nations in terms of, the idea of having just growing the game across these 6 nations. Obviously, Canada, US, Sweden, Russia, Finland, and the Czech Republic. Pretty obvious. It's actually really kind of cool. The NHL is considered one of the most diverse leagues in North America, just because of the fact that they have a lot of international presence. Mostly Canada and the United States. Actually, I believe they make up about 74% of the NHL right now, just because there's not really many other professional leagues to kind of play in elsewhere. But Sweden's about 9%, Russia and the Czech Republic at about 4.5% respectively, and Finland's coming up at around 3%. There's currently 18 different countries represented in the NHL, which is actually really kind of cool. I think realistically, kind of going forward, it's just the fact that building the game, and I think realistically, I think that's what they're trying to do with the expansion. Obviously, you're going to go to 32 teams. So hopefully, able to attain kind of different markets to kind of get more superstars like Austin Matthews from, non-traditional markets. And I think realistically that's kind of the way forward for the NHL. In terms of age, obviously, you have the young stars, Matthews. You have young stars like Matthews and Line and McDavid. And I think realistically, just the fact that they're going to be there for quite a while, just because, the fact that they kind of have the speed and the advantage and just kind of the whole idea of playing two ways. I think realistically, just kind of with that, it's going to get pretty good. Obviously, like I said, 31st team, obviously with the Vegas Golden Knights, they're going to come in and just kind of make things a little easier to kind of make the NHL. But I think realistically, just because the global game has been growing so significantly, I think realistically it's just going to be something that's just keeps on expanding. But I think realistically, just kind of the idea of just getting some really kind of great scouting in terms of building these 6 nations up, obviously in terms of kind of the world kind of events, Olympics, World Championship, World Cup of Hockey, World Juniors. You kind of get the idea. I think realistically, just to have the chance and the presence to kind of play on these international stages, that would be great for the kids to kind of keep going. And think realistically going forward, it's kind of cool. Even in Canada, you kind of seeing hockey kind of back away in Canada. What was it? 1980, they had about 82.1% of NHL players come from Canada. 1990 was about 73.9. 2000s about 55. And as of 2015, so now making this the second year in a row, there's actually a minority of Canadians in the NHL as opposed to everyone else put together. So I mean, that's a good thing for hockey, and I think realistically we're kind of seeing that especially with that next generation of Finland kind of coming in and realistically kind of making their mark. It's really kind of a cool kind of thing. Even a lot of Nordic countries, even kind of other markets like Australia, France, Netherlands, just kind of seeing what they can kind of do. Even Germany, Switzerland, I think realistically it's a great move for the NHL, and hopefully we get to kind of see that kind of diversity kind of come in, because it's really a skilled game, and I think realistically there are so many people kind of just really kind of selling it in, and I think they're really excited. Fortunately, I think Gary Bettman made a wrong move for not going to South Korea in the Olympics, but hopefully the players that will kind of defy kind of like the ideas and just go with it, do it well and represent their country strong, and obviously grow the game. We saw what happened in Nagano and kind of the love for hockey in Japan, so why not kind of South Korea? Anyways, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned.